Power isn't always loud or obvious. Sometimes the strongest influence comes from presence, the silent energy that shapes how others think and respond without a word. Political thinkers like Niccolò Machiavelli recognized that true authority often comes from perception, emotional control, and self-discipline rather than force. This video explores how presence works, why perception matters, and how inner discipline can shape the way others respond to you. Power begins with perception. Human beings rarely respond only to facts. They respond to impressions, emotions, and subtle signals. Before someone speaks, their posture, energy, and behavior already communicate messages to others. These signals shape expectations long before words are exchanged. Machiavelli understood this principle deeply. In The Prince, he wrote that people judge more by appearances than by reality, because everyone can see what you seem to be, but few understand what you truly are. This observation highlights a psychological truth. Perception often becomes reality in social interaction. When someone appears composed, confident, and controlled, others naturally assign authority to them. Conversely, uncertainty, nervousness, or excessive effort often reduce perceived influence. Presence, therefore, begins with managing perception, not through deception, but through discipline and self-mastery. Influence grows when others feel a sense of certainty around you. That certainty does not come from constant action, but from consistency, calmness, and clarity of behavior. The influence of stillness and composure. Modern culture often associates power with activity, speaking loudly, reacting quickly, and constantly asserting oneself. Yet psychological research suggests the opposite can be true. Calm behavior signals confidence because it communicates that a person feels no urgency to prove themselves. Stillness has a powerful effect on social dynamics. When someone moves deliberately, speaks slowly, and avoids unnecessary reactions, their behavior creates tension and focus in the environment. Others begin paying closer attention, interpreting silence as meaning rather than absence. Composure during stressful situations is especially influential. When individuals remain calm while others react emotionally, they naturally become reference points for stability. People often seek direction from those who appear unshaken by uncertainty. This is not theatrical performance. It is emotional regulation, the ability to control reactions rather than being controlled by them. Emotional control communicates strength because it shows independence from external pressure. The power of mystery and unpredictability. Another important element of presence is unpredictability. When behavior becomes entirely predictable, others quickly understand how to respond and react. Predictability reduces influence because it removes uncertainty. Machiavelli argued that leaders should not reveal everything about themselves. When individuals expose all their intentions and emotions, they become easy to anticipate. Strategic ambiguity, on the other hand, creates curiosity and caution. Mystery does not mean deception. It means maintaining privacy, choosing words carefully, and avoiding unnecessary self-disclosure. When people cannot easily categorize or predict someone, they often attribute greater depth and authority to that individual. Human psychology naturally fills informational gaps. When information is incomplete, observers create their own interpretations, often imagining greater power or competence than reality. This is why restraint in speech and behavior can increase perceived influence. Scarcity and the value of attention. Another principle of presence involves scarcity. What is constantly available is often taken for granted, while what is limited becomes valuable. When individuals offer unlimited time, attention, or availability, their presence becomes routine. However, when engagement is selective and intentional, interactions feel meaningful. This does not require arrogance or withdrawal from others. Instead, it involves valuing one's time and energy. Selective attention communicates self-respect. It shows that interactions are deliberate rather than automatic. People tend to respect boundaries because boundaries signal value. Scarcity also increases anticipation. When someone's presence is not constant, others become more attentive when they appear. Their words carry more weight, and their actions receive greater focus. Environmental leadership. Presence also operates at an environmental level. Some individuals adapt to the mood of a room, while others shape it. Emotional states spread socially. Psychologists describe this as emotional contagion, the process by which one person's emotional state influences others around them. A calm individual can reduce tension in a group, while an anxious individual can increase it. Those who maintain stable emotional states often guide group dynamics without explicit authority. Their behavior becomes a reference point for others. When they remain composed, others slow down. When they listen attentively, others speak more thoughtfully. This form of influence does not require commands. It emerges naturally through consistent behavior. Environmental leadership involves maintaining calm in stressful situations, speaking with intention rather than reacting impulsively, demonstrating emotional stability, responding rather than reacting. These behaviors subtly reshape social environments. Communication through silence. Silence is often misunderstood as weakness or passivity. In reality, silence can communicate confidence, reflection, and authority. When individuals pause before speaking, their words appear more deliberate. When they listen fully rather than interrupting, they demonstrate control and respect. Strategic silence encourages others to reveal more information, strengthening understanding and influence. Pauses also create psychological weight. They build anticipation and focus attention. A thoughtful response often carries more influence than an immediate reaction. Effective communicators understand that influence depends not only on what is said, but also on what is left unsaid. Nonverbal signals of authority. Presence is strongly connected to nonverbal communication. Research shows that posture, movement, and facial expression shape how others perceive confidence and credibility. Key nonverbal signals include posture. Upright but relaxed posture communicates confidence. Movement. Deliberate movement signals control and intention. Eye contact. Balanced eye contact conveys engagement and certainty. Speech pace. Measured speech suggests clarity of thought. Facial expression. Calm expressions project emotional stability. These signals operate automatically. People form judgments within seconds of interaction based largely on nonverbal cues. Developing presence, therefore, involves aligning body language with inner calmness and clarity. Internal discipline as the foundation of presence. True presence cannot be sustained through performance alone. It requires internal discipline. Individuals who depend heavily on external validation often appear reactive. Their behavior shifts based on approval or criticism. This reduces perceived stability. Inner certainty creates consistency. When actions are guided by values rather than external pressure, behavior becomes predictable in a different way, stable rather than reactive. Internal discipline includes emotional self-control, clear personal values, consistent behavior, independence from constant approval. These qualities form the foundation of authentic influence. The difference between influence and manipulation. It is important to distinguish healthy presence from manipulation. Influence based on emotional stability, self-control, and clarity benefits both individuals and communities. Manipulation, by contrast, seeks control through deception or coercion. Constructive presence aims to improve communication, build trust, strengthen leadership. creates stability in groups. Ethical influence respects autonomy and encourages cooperation rather than domination. Machiavelli's writings are often interpreted as promoting ruthless control, but many scholars argue his work primarily describes political realities rather than prescribing personal behavior. Understanding perception and power does not require abandoning ethical responsibility. Presence as consistency over time. Presence is not a single action or performance. It develops through consistent behavior over time. When individuals repeatedly demonstrate calmness, reliability, and clarity, others begin expecting these qualities. Reputation forms gradually through repeated interactions. Consistency creates credibility. Credibility creates influence. This process cannot be rushed. It requires patience and long-term commitment to personal discipline. Power isn't proven by noise, it's proven by control, consistency, and the calm that changes the room before you even speak. So build the presence people feel, not the personality they can predict, and watch how everything around you starts to shift. If you want to be smarter every day, like and subscribe.